Last year, after coming back from a 2 week vacation, which was something we had planned, you know, to leave every 6 months for 2 weeks as we build and renovate it on the property we had bought, and one that I'm still waiting to finalize from the Manitoba government. Who would know that we would meet with the faces of corruption within the Halton Regional Police? Let me take you back a bit. I wanted to go to the UK. This, in hindsight, would have been a much better decision. You see, because where we went to was Cuba, your typical all inclusive vacations. Wayne, you see, does not realize that he cannot cope with alcohol. He was drinking, well, he always drinks only on the weekends, but not throughout the week, which even that I did not like. But he brought up that I smoke cigarettes, which I have to say, I don't feel my smoking of cigarettes is the same as drinking. You see, I had friends who are alcoholics, and I ended friendships because I could not cope with their drinking. Trying to get them home and unable to get them out of my vehicle. I'm always the person who's the designated driver. I end up feeling like I'm their babysitter. While in Cuba, Wayne was drinking and not eating, as he said the food was horrible. Yes, it is Cuba. The food is not the greatest. I mean, I myself, because I'm a vegan, I eat rice and beans there. And sometimes, if they have vegetables, place it in. It's not to my liking either, but I do know I have to eat at certain intervals or else I become sick. I'm also have insulin resistancy. Coming back on the plane, Wayne was feeling sick. Actually, right from the airport, when we got to the airport, he was feeling very sick and about to pass out. I explained to him I was not surprised, as his body, after 2 weeks, was probably going through becoming malnourished. I tried buying at the airport food for him, but they were all telling me they did not take cards and it had to be cash. In 2 weeks sitting on the beach and at pools, I was not taking out any money at ATM, so I only had my cards. On the plane, I went without food and drink as I was giving it to him to eat. And I was also, he was eating his and mine to help him feel better. I had asked the flight attendant if I could buy, how they sell you extra food, vegetable soup from her. But she stated they ran out as they combined two flights together and they were not given extra food. When we did land, I told Wayne there was no way I could, myself drive 2 hours back from the airport as I have not eaten and felt dehydrated. So we stopped at Olive Garden in Regina for their salad so I could eat. At that time, he promised me, um, you know, in a week, he would get over the drinking that he got into on the vacation. So the week had passed and he was still drinking. Anyways, my I had a Dodge Journey, which was, if anybody knows Dodge Journeys, they have electrical problems, and this thing would turn itself on without without you having to be anywhere near the remote to turn it on. Um, and I just decided I couldn't deal with it, so I went looking for a truck to buy, and I found one on Facebook in Ontario. So I bought it, I paid for it ahead of time, and the person who was selling it was not honest at all because they had said to me they would be able, to keep the truck because I told them I'm not going to be in Ontario till June and they told me they could keep the truck till June. But once you pay for things, oh, by the way, they told me it was mechanically sound And by pictures, I couldn't see any of the, the bumper damage on it. But after it was paid for, then he told me that it was unplated in public parking, which, a parking lot, which he didn't have permission for it. So then I had to figure, oh my God, I paid for a truck and my truck is now sitting, you know, in a parking lot that it doesn't have the basically the rights to sit in. So I contacted the guy, the owner of the company that I had import my Mini Cooper from the UK, and he helped me to arrange parking for it. I actually had to pay like $200 too for, you know, for the parking. And but the place where I parked it, they were complaining they needed space. So I had to then decide, well, we have to leave earlier than June and, get the truck. So at that time, what I did was I told Wayne, guess what? You're going to stop drinking. Because he said he was weaning himself off of it. I took his box of wine. I did empty the box of wine, which had him upset. And he called me the B word for, tossing it. But I was like, you promised me a week. There's things to do. And I'm one of those people, if there's things to do, I get it done. Anyways, we spent it was what, 3 to 4 days I spent driving, and we finally ended back in Ontario, where I was to find out that the truck was not what, you know, it was sold to me as. And then the Mini Cooper, which I was bringing down to give to my daughter. Yes, she's only 11, but I figured I would have it stored for when she was 16 as her first vehicle. It's fully insured. It's still fully insured up to today. You know, the Mini Cooper, then the manual gear went. So then I was stuck. I'm like, okay, can't drive this Mini Cooper because I cannot shift. It is a manual. So, you know, ended up stuck in Oakville, which was where we picked up the truck from. I'll get into more details about that because there is just a lot that we, you know, have to cover and I have to explain to you. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I don't think all law enforcement is bad, and I do feel sorry because there is good police officers that have to work with bad police officers. I had an incident with for example, with my Dodge Journey, where, like I said, it was the electrical was crazy, so it high beamed a RCMP officer from Wynyard. But he was such a great officer. I apologized for it high beaming him, and he acted in a professional manner and was kind and understanding. We joked, and he even gave me some advice about the little hamlet we were in, like, a little heads up about it. Very kind person. And, from what I've seen with the Wynyard RCMP in dealing with people that I've seen, they are absolute professionals. Hats off to them for giving dignity and honor to their profession. Anyways, by the end, I'm just going to say in Ontario, I did end up purchasing 2 trucks. I love motorcycles, I love vehicles, I love trucks, I love anything with an engine in it. And supposedly I can't feed myself, I have to say, according to what the 2 officers said. I don't have money to feed myself, and I don't have a place to live. They make up their own narrative, but they didn't think I would see all those things. Now I'm going to suggest to everybody, if you're ever held by the police, ask for your freedom of information and ask for any records. They have denied Wayne one of his freedom of informations because it holds proof to, what I'm saying and what's happened. This should have just been a public intoxication charge, but they did set us up. And like I said, there is a lot of details to the setup because they must not have crime in Oakville that these police officers have so much time to fabricate and set people up. Anyways, the videos that I'm gonna future upload is gonna be detailed and show all of this. The video I'm showing now is the sergeant claims that Wayne fell out of the truck himself. He claims Wayne had a 1,000-yard stare, slurred his words, and fell out the truck. You will see, noticing this. Oh, they also claimed that the truck was moving, and I could prove the truck wasn't moving. They've done so many things. I'm getting ahead of myself, and I don't want to. But you know what? I'll leave this video for now. And this is where the sergeant claims that Wayne fell out the truck himself and had a 1,000-yard stare, when you can clearly see the sergeant assaulted him. And the same sergeant went on and assaulted him a second time at the police station. And he's told many lies, which I will go through that. And the female officer with him has also fabricated lies, and they both fabricated evidence together, which, with the help of the video I was shooting on my phone, I'm able to prove that. So, you know what? Please subscribe and comment. Let me know how you feel about the police. Has your feelings, with everything in media, has it changed about your feelings towards the police? Has anything ever happened to you? I really want to know how you feel about that. Anyways, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks.